Welcome to Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
I'm Christy, and we're recapping Clayton's season of The Bachelor.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for season 26 of The Bachelor. It is an exciting time in Bachelor Nation. So many new things. Christy, are you excited?
Yeah, I always get excited at the beginning of a season.
Even this season, huh?
I mean, it's a whole new cast of characters and lots of drama to come.
Okay. Well, I'm trying my best. I hope you know that. But before we get into things, I'm going to make you give a little bit of a explanation, even though I didn't give you a heads up so you could prepare. But explain to us this whole Jesse Palmer situation, because I don't know how well known he is or just any of the things surrounding him.
Well, he was the Bachelor before I started watching this show, so I never saw his season or what he was like. But then he went on to do commentating for ESPN with football. Actually, I think he still does some sort of college football thing.
Did he ever play football? Is that?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think so. And he hosted a bunch of other things on ABC, and so I guess they wanted, I don't know, somebody who knows how to host.
Have you seen any of his stuff? Do you have an opinion?
No, I mean, I don't think I've watched anything he has hosted.
Okay. So
just from watching this episode, I mean, he seems fine. There's nothing too remarkable about him other than the fact that he looks like Clayton's older brother.
And I don't know if the internet would agree with you as far as him being fine, but
what have you seen?
I just saw a handful of things about man, this episode was just so awkward to watch. Clayton and Jesse are just making this so irritating to watch. I don't know if I would go that far, but I was seeing a couple headlines along those lines.
I mean, he's no more awkward to me than Caitlin or Tayshia were hosting. It's just kind of a weird role to begin with, because you're reading off the teleprompter and trying to make it seem natural. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So here's a sort of follow-up question to that. Speaking of Tayshia and Caitlin, do you think that they were just trying to replace Chris Harrison with as close to Chris Harrison as quickly as possible? Do you think that maybe because as we've talked about before in previous seasons, since Tayshia and Caitlin have hosted, they have had sort of a, I guess, shtick, you could call it, perhaps, of just the super excited, squealy, that sort of thing. I'm just curious if ABC was kind of they were okay, but now we're into The Bachelor, and all the ladies are going to be doing that, and so we don't want to also have the hosts doing that. I don't know I just wanted to hear your thoughts about the whole thing, because as everybody probably knows by now, I still think Tayshia should be the host.
Well, I don't think they were ever serious about having Caitlin and or Tayshia host permanently. I think they were just a stopgap until ABC found their actual next host.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I feel like it was always going to be somebody else.
Yeah, I can get
Somebody with some hosting experience.
Yeah, it just seems a little strange to me. Maybe it's just because like it's more of an established show now. But like, did Chris Harrison have any experience when he started? Like, was he anybody
No,
at that point?
He was very green. I think he might have done a tiny bit of something in TV, but no, he learned on the job.
Guess Tasha and Caitlin don't get that same courtesy.
I mean, I don't know. I saw a lot of mixed reactions on social media about the two of them. I think they would have had a better shot if it was just one of them.
Well, that's what I've said the whole time.
Yeah. It was just
Tasha. Come on.
I mean, I feel like that was the awkward thing, was having two people. Like, still having the two of them walk in to say this is the final rose. It just seemed so silly.
I would agree. And yes, I've been saying that for so long. Just give us one of them. Because even then, when you had the after the final rose, when Tasha was not able to be there, I think that ended up being a bit awkward because Caitlin wasn't really sure what she was supposed to do by herself.
Yeah, but I still feel like that went better. I feel like just having her.
Oh, I think I would agree with that as well.
But yeah, she didn't. I mean, Tasha dropped out at the last minute because of possible COVID exposure. So they're probably scrambling to have her do it by herself. But
oh, well. Well, I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit about that. Is there anything that's been happening in Bachelor Nation? I know that, we have been gone for a long time now.
yeah, I didn't pay too much attention in the last week with the holidays and everything. I did see that they posted a deleted scene from Monday's episode where Michelle arrived at the mansion and chatted with Clayton. Just kind of the same standard, oh, you're going to be so great, you're going to find your wife, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, she brought out two of the kids. Now, I couldn't tell if these were either her students or those actors they had earlier in her season, but...
Christy, those weren't actors. Those were real kids. Come on.
Yes, they're real kids. But...
No, they're robots. Programmed by ABC.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but they had to complete the whole... We gave you the letters, now we're back to give you advice. They told him not to kiss anyone on the first night.
Yeah, because that definitely wasn't going to happen.
So, that's it.
Yeah. Hopefully, things progress here, but I'm not the hugest fan. I just don't appreciate the whole progression of events here leading up to this season. I'm just, as everyone knows, I'm a cranky pants, and I'm just a little irritated about it in general. It just seems like a really weird way to do things, and I'm not happy about it.
You mean just casting Clayton?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yes, that... Yeah, they... I mean, I feel like I'm beginning to see why they cast him, but...
Are you going to keep that little tidbit to yourself that you said as we watched, or are you going to...
I mean, I don't mind saying it now, but I'm kind of basing it off of some of the stuff I'm seeing in the previews for this season, but I feel like they picked him because he can be manipulated by producers.
Now that's a hot take.
Which, like, that's not an uncommon thing for them to do. I know there are other people that the audience wanted for Bachelor who didn't get picked, and I've always kind of thought, you know what, that person would not yield to certain things they want the lead to do, and so they don't get picked. But just stuff in the previews where he, like, somehow they got him to tell like either 2 or 3 of the women like, oh, I've been intimate with you, or I'm in love with, like, that's such a like, I don't understand how they got him to do that, but somehow they did.
Well,
and he also like looks like a bachelor. He fits the mold of like basically every other bachelor they've had. Plus the whole marketing of like, oh, I'm just a Midwest guy who wants a wife and kids. That's very much appealing to the base of the show, the people who watch. So
I'm just made of cord, and I'm just super friendly, and I have a great smile, and I have abs. I mean, that's all people want.
Yeah, it's all very endearing and wholesome, and
Look, I'm sure he's fine, and he'll probably grow on me some. Hopefully he doesn't just make terrible decisions the entire time.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't dislike Clayton. I just don't. It's just weird to me all the people they passed over to get to him. But
look, all I'm gonna say.
We all know why.
All I'm gonna say right now is, I'm having a really difficult time trusting the process.
Oh no, you can't ever trust the process fully. There's too much pulling of the strings happening.
Yes, even though, I mean, look, we all have our questions, but Jesse Palmer just wants to assure us that Clayton is sincere.
Yes, and also he made sure to mention that he's a happily married man, and so there won't be any shenanigans there either.
But, like, did he end up getting married to the person from his show?
Oh, no. That did not work out for him. Are you surprised?
No, it's just hilarious because, like, the implication is he's like, oh, I was a former bachelor. Now I'm a happily married man.
Well, it might be kind of awkward to be like, I was the former bachelor and I broke up with my final pick, but now I have found somebody else.
No, I know. It's just funny to me that, like, they kind of make sure they mention that because, the sort of implication, if you haven't been watching forever, that, oh wow, like this show really works. They have the host that like did the show, and he found someone, he found his wife for the show. Wow, Clayton could find his wife here. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I also found it funny that like when Clayton went to visit his mom, so like tell her he was the bachelor, she's like acting all shocked. But like there's a camera crew following him.
No, Christy, don't you know he was just on his phone the entire time.
Yeah, we saw that, but there's footage of him on his phone.
No, Christy, disregard the wide shot. That was just another phone he set up somewhere else.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, no, of course, of course she knew.
And then also Clayton's like, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm the bachelor. Which, this was like the weirdest reason. It's because I truly believe in the process. Yeah, that's the reason, Clayton.
Yeah.
Anyway, time to meet the women. Or at least their video packages. Was there anything that stood out here to you? There wasn't much for me other than Sally.
Well, look, I know our listeners hate us bringing up stuff like this, but I did think that the whole Teddy situation was funny.
Oh, the virgin?
Yeah, because she's like, oh, no, I'm a virgin. And like, well, I probably made that decision to be a virgin, like, way too young. But, like, I just decided to stick with it. But, under the right circumstances.
Yeah, she's basically like, it's not a religious thing. It could happen on this show.
Yeah, yes, that was basically the gist of it. Because I think her wording was something along the lines of, like, I would be fine having sex with somebody who like I had feelings for.
Yeah.
AKA, if you keep me along till the fantasy suites, we can make it happen.
You know, it's weird. I actually forgot that she was the virgin the rest of the show.
Well, what I'm hoping is that they don't make it quite her entire arc, but
Yeah.
I guess hopefully she has enough other interesting things about her that it's not the entire time, because that's always a little annoying. A lot of nurses on this season. I don't know if that's typical or not.
Yeah, probably more than normal.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, there are a lot of women. That's all I got. Tell us about Sally.
Yeah, so her Chiron says previously engaged, and from what I read on the internet, the engagement ended like 2 weeks before the first night, basically, of filming. Which just, there's all kinds of like weird timing issues. Like, how did she end up on this show if she just ended engagement 2 weeks ago? Like, was she already in the system? Because like sometimes they'll keep people around for future seasons, or like, did she apply like after that? It was just very strange. She said there was a lack of trust, which means like the guy cheated on her.
We don't want to make any assumptions, Christy.
Well, that's also what I read. And then apparently she was hanging back with that same guy like a month or two later. So maybe they're like on again, off again. I don't know.
Wait, you mean after the show?
Yeah, after she appeared here.
That's real weird.
Yeah. And so they show her visiting Clayton's hotel suite because she's like having second thoughts, which is
even though it's illegal. He hasn't met anybody officially yet.
No, but producers are never gonna miss a chance for some extra drama. So
Nope.
yeah, I don't understand why she's here in the first place.
Because she wants reassurance that she's in the right place, that she can trust the process. I always, and again, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry to the world, but I'm just such a cynical, crotchety person. And like, they're sitting next to each other. They've barely said a single word to each other, and Clayton's just like, oh, there's just something special about you. He's like, you don't know that.
No.
There's nothing that has happened to indicate to you that this woman is special or not special. She could be a saint, she could be a serial killer, she could be the most boring person in the world, she could be the most exciting person in the world. You have no idea.
Yeah, but apparently he has convinced himself of this to the point that he comes back with a rose for her. Like, well, because he
wants her to trust the process, Christy.
Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous, the whole thing.
And then, yeah, I just wanted to. So he's like, "Oh, here's a rose. You should stay. Trust the process." And she responds in a way that he was probably not anticipating, right? Because I imagine you think to yourself, "Oh, I've talked to her. She's having doubts. I leave the room. I come back with a rose. Everybody wants a rose." And she's like, "I'm gonna need a minute."
Yeah, she then like leaves and calls somebody on the phone. We don't know who that is, but then maybe it looks like she talks to a producer as well, and then comes back in and is like, my heart is not in the place where I can accept this rose. It's like, Okay.
First rose rejected.
Why were you here then if you can't accept his roses? But
yes, which is really unfortunate because, as we all know, Clayton's biggest fear is the fear of rejection. Dun,
and it's
dun,
already
dun.
happening to him.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Perhaps not for the first time. Well, maybe not the last time, rather. I suspect somebody else at some point is just going to be like, no thanks.
Very soon, in fact.
Yeah, well.
It is time for Clayton to arrive at the mansion, and I really wish I had thought to count the number of times the word nervous was said.
Yeah. I'm nervous but excited, Christy, about this whole thing, okay?
I mean, Clayton said it a whole bunch of times. Just about every girl who got out of the limo said it. It was insane. But the limos start pulling up, and I guess we'll just pick out which entrances were memorable.
Not a ton of them.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. A lot of these were just like, oh, I'm so excited and nervous. I'll see you inside. That was like probably a third of them.
Yeah, is that just because ABC has gotten lazy? Like, what's the deal with that?
I don't know. Even the gimmicks were kind of lame. Like, Teddy
agree.
was like, I'll be your teddy bear, which is kind of clever.
Yeah, well,
There was the girl who, like, gave him a handshake, but there was some sort of, like, electrical spark.
It's like a gag thing where you have it in your hand and shaking somebody's hand completes the circuit and shocks them.
Yeah. There was the girl, Kate.
Oh, no. You're not going to talk. This isn't family friendly.
Well, it turns out it was. It just seemed as if it wasn't at first.
It wasn't. It still wasn't family friendly. You're like, oh, it was family friendly. It was alcohol.
Well, if you're above age, then it's legal.
Look, I don't know. Look, I'm gonna make you say it because.
Well, yeah, because she comes out. Horse said she's nervous, and then said each of us can hold one of my nips, and then like pauses for dramatic effects, and then pulls out these 2 little bottles of alcohol, which I was not familiar with this concept.
Well, because you're not an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding. People can drink them without being alcoholics. It's just like a sort of thing you would find like on an airplane or in a hotel minibar sort of deal. Just like a small bottle large enough to hold one shot, basically.
I just didn't know they were called nips.
Well, that's not necessarily the official title, but it is one of the titles. I mean, she's still, like, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know if I could say this in our podcast, but she still basically, like, pulled them from underneath her boobs.
Yes, yeah.
Because she was wearing a dress that had no pockets. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, I'm not sure how she had that tucked in there, but she pulled it off.
I don't even want to imagine.
We had Haley, who needed help opening a jar of pickles, which I found that kind of funny. It was better than some of the other gags. Like Marlena, who threw a penalty flag for him being, quote, so fine.
You didn't like that flag on the play 15 yards for being so fine?
Ugh, not really.
No?
Oh, what about Jill, who brought the ashes of her ex-boyfriends?
That was a bit weird.
It's very dark.
Not gonna lie, that was a little strange. You know what would be super romantic? Let me just pretend that I murdered and cremated several people. Yeah.
We had Kira, who arrived in lingerie and a nurse coat. It was just a very dated, out-of-touch costume, I found.
I'm pretty sure they still sell the like that sort of thing at like Spirit Halloween stores.
I know, but it's just so like, ugh, really.
You think it's misogynistic?
I mean, not if you're willingly wearing it. I don't know. It's just cringy, I guess.
It's weird. Okay, I'll admit. I also like what was like the whole sausage thing.
Oh,
like,
Eliza. I don't
like,
know.
Because like that could be a sexual thing too, but like they were both eating it, which is like.
I don't know what was happening there. They only showed like 2 seconds of it, so that's like all we got.
Yeah.
What about Gabby?
I don't want to talk about that.
Who said she just wants to sit on his face, but then pulled out a pillow that had his face.
That's sexual
like,
too. I don't want to
sewn
talk about
onto
it.
the side.
I don't want to talk about it.
Or the girl hunter who brought a snake. Like, why? She kept the snake the whole night too.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, and then the last two were pretty funny. So Cassidy arrived in like a kid's car.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shanae arrives after her in a massive, like, full-size truck and crushed it.
Well, it didn't totally try. Just ran into it a little bit. Yeah, that was very reminiscent of the whole firefighter arrival for, was that Katie's season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where one of them showed up.
No, or Michelle.
Really?
Yeah, because the two firefighters were at her tell-all. It was like Daniel and PJ, I think.
Okay, yeah, but the same sort of idea where one showed up in a little kiddie fire truck and the other like showed up in an actual like real fire truck. Yeah. Well, I guess I will bring this up because I feel like this was supposed to be a tie-in. So when Holly came in, she didn't actually come in. This like grandma came in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, her granddaughter was Rachel.
Because I think were they setting it up as she was one of the people from the new Bachelor for seniors?
Oh, I
think that's what they were trying to do. I don't know if she's actually like the first senior bachelorette or if she's just like one of the contestants from, because I don't remember if they're doing like the senior bachelor or the senior bachelorette first.
Oh, I mean, I don't even know if that show is still happening or not.
I thought that they mentioned that she mentioned something about that.
She
but I don't
did,
know if it was
but I
serious.
don't know if I couldn't tell if it was just a joke. Like, oh, I thought this was the senior bachelor, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I thought I would bring it up just in case it comes up in the future.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to do that one too if it happens?
I hope it doesn't happen.
Wow, that is ageist. Okay, old people deserve love too.
I just feel like that'd be really awkward to watch.
You don't want to see older people making out?
Do you?
I don't want to see anybody making out. I'm just here because of a contract I signed that I didn't read thoroughly.
Well, I won't hold you to that show if it comes.
I don't know. I might hold you to it. See you squirm a little bit. see how you like it, Christy. Anyways, we were getting off topic there. Let's get back to the action.
Yeah, it is. He enters the room with all the women, and after his speech, he spills his drink a little bit, which I found funny. And then it is time to chat with the women. This one made me laugh. Elizabeth, who brought a 100-year-old picture of her great-grandfather or something.
It wasn't 100 years old. Not yet. It was from 1930, for goodness sake.
That is basically 100 years old.
It's not quite.
Well, I just thought Clayton's reaction to that was very funny. He just goes, "Wow, that is wild." Like, in his defense, what else are you supposed to say?
Well, she was trying to make an analogy and create a story about how like all these like actions that have happened in the past have brought us to this moment, and like we're here because of my great grandfather from 100 years ago, even though it was 92 years ago. But like,
I'm not buying that.
Well, you don't have to buy it. I'm just telling you what she was trying to accomplish, even if she failed.
Also, then we see an ITM from Teddy, and she's like, "I can tell he'll be a good kisser." Now, what exactly gave her that impression?
I don't know, the 30 seconds he was on screen. It was just he was so attracted. You know, he was shirtless for the Viking thing, and she was like, "Oh."
Yeah, she also said she didn't intend to kiss anyone the first night.
She's gonna be no kissing the first night. She's gonna stick to that.
However, most of her lipstick ended up on Clayton, so
no.
Yeah, that didn't last. She gets the first kiss, and the women can see, which then sets off this whole chain reaction of like every other girl going up to him and just making out right away.
Well, you can't be like the one person who hasn't made out with him.
Mm-hmm. I also found this really funny. I don't remember who this was, but the girl who can speak German, who wrote like "Can we kiss" in German on the card, and so like when it was revealed that's what it said, he like of course like had to kiss her, and then she's like, "Yeah, it didn't feel forced at all."
No. It definitely, it wasn't forced at all. It definitely didn't happen because the producers wrote "Can we kiss" in German on the flashcard because I put in my special skills and abilities section that I speak German. It definitely didn't happen because of that. We just had a good connection.
Of course. It was so natural.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole Claire situation?
Oh, I found this very funny, but also I'm fairly certain she was quite drunk. Because she and Clayton were playing cornhole, and then somebody interrupted them. I didn't see who it was. And then I guess that just set her off, and she's like ranting to the other women, like, "Oh, he's not the vibe. He's too nice.
Well,
it's a catastrophe."
Slight correction, though. They were playing cornhole and eating chicken wings. So it was very sad that she got interrupted. Though I will also say, I didn't write down who interrupted them either, but I just wrote down this quote because I thought it was ridiculous. She comes up and she's like, "Can I steal him for a while for a second?"
That was so awkward.
And she did. She stole him for a while for a second, let me just tell you. And Claire was not happy about that. She did not like the vibe.
Yeah, she even said, "I can't be with American Sweetheart. I hated him." It's just very strange.
So you were people? I was gonna say, were people talking about? Of course, they were talking about this online. So was the consensus that she just like got wasted?
I mean, I thought that as I was watching it, and then I did see a comment about that, so I think she was. She like her words were a little bit like not quite crisp. Yeah, she seemed a little out of it.
Boy.
And, basically she told everybody how much she hated him, and so that got back to Clayton, and he then asked to speak with her outside, where she then denies that she hated him, but that sealed her fate. And
which, I mean, I'm sure that's true. Like, you really think she hated him? No.
I mean, no, but it's just weird. She was like, "Yeah, I didn't say that." It's like, okay. as cameras are filming you.
I just, like, I don't know. It's just so weird to me that they decided to make this a deal. Like this, we haven't even gotten to the first rose ceremony. Like, she's probably getting sent home anyways. Like, come on. Do we really need to make this into, like, a Katie / Michelle moment where there's someone scheming behind the scenes and, like, somebody has to just take it upon themselves to warn the lead?
Well, there wasn't much other drama that happened on night one, so I think they were grasping
clearly
at straws.
we've only been talking for like 35 minutes.
Really?
Uh-huh. I know, it feels like forever, doesn't it?
No, I guess we just kind of breezed through a lot of it, but...
Well, yeah, because as we keep saying repeatedly as the seasons go by, typically not a whole lot of anything happens in the first episode.
Yeah, it's just too many people, and... Yeah.
Do I know any of them? As I always say, no, I don't.
Nope.
They have to earn me remembering them.
And we had Genevieve with the most overused statement or phrase that family is so important to her.
Oh, wow. Family's important to her? Oh, I am so attracted to her. Family's really important to me, too.
Same.
Her look, Christy, her parents were married for a long time. His parents,
so have mine.
His parents have been married for 30 years or something. He doesn't know exactly, but in that ballpark.
We also had Rachel, the flight instructor. They both want to go skydiving. Not much there, I guess. And
they could have another Rachel skydiving date.
Oh no. I forgot about that.
They plummet out of the sky. Yeah. She just flies small planes, not big planes, it looks like. What did you think about the first impression rose?
I always
who it
find
went to.
One of the funniest parts of the night is just watching The Bachelor pick that up and walk away from a group of people.
You're like, yeah.
But it went to Teddy, which was not a surprise, considering how much they made out earlier. And there was more making out.
Wow.
Once she received it. In fact, she even kissed him before he, actually gave it to her, so...
Party to a close. Did you think he did a good job?
Yeah, he even did the little ting ting knock on the glass thing that Chris used to do.
Wow. It's almost like they're just like, can we just get somebody and form them into the new Chris Harrison? Just as exactly as possible.
Yep, he's just a younger version.
Hopefully he doesn't become a racist.
Oh, dear. Well, I think he'll be on his best behavior.
Well, I mean, obviously, because he doesn't have nearly the same pull as Chris Harrison does. So he has to behave until he gets to that point. No, I'm sure he's fine gentleman. Well, is there really anything to say about the rose ceremony? I mean, nobody knows or cares about these people yet.
No, I mean, I wrote down all the names that did get roses, but I didn't catch who didn't get one.
That means nothing
or even
to
how
us.
many went home.
I mean, really, the only thing I remember from that is that Tessa was, freaking out the entire time. Oh, my goodness, am I going to get a rose? Oh, I thought we had a good connection. But, oh, do we have a connection? Ah!
Yeah, the only thing I saw online that they didn't even show was that, remember that girl that came in the hot tub with all the bubbles? Mm-hmm. She, self-eliminated at some point during the night, even, before this.
Wait, so another one?
Apparently, we didn't see her at the rose ceremony, but she wasn't there at all.
Wow, that was a whole lot of production for nothing, because everyone was like freaking out a little bit about that because she was all right. She was in the bikini, of course, had the black square, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, oh wow, ugh," because of course everybody freaks out seeing other people's entrances because they're always second guessing and like, "Oh, why?" Like, why did I dress in a Barney costume? Oh, I should have kissed him instead. Oh. A lot of that stuff.
Well, at that point, it is too late. You have made your bed.
That's funny. I would be interested to see, like, why she... He's like, Maybe she was angry about the hot tub entrance.
Yeah, I don't know. But
That's so weird, too.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, she didn't have the staying power of Rick.
I guess not.
Huh. Well, that is an intro episode. Super exciting, as always. For sure.
Yeah. We'll get back to normal next week.
Mm-hmm. I guess the question is, when will I start to care about any of these people? Because I haven't liked what I've seen so far.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a super memorable cast so far.
I'm unimpressed.
Well, hopefully it'll get better as we start getting one-on-ones and group dates.
We can only hope.
I mean, at this point, we're all just waiting for the end where I have been intimate with both of you.
Unless he just, like, that happened recently.
Early on?
Yeah, they didn't even make it to Fantasy Suites.
Oh, no, that's definitely a Fantasy Suite thing.
Well, I'm just trying to obscure things for our fans so they don't get spoiled, Christy. Unbelievable. Christy's out here, I cannot tell a lie unless it involves telling you any of the millions of spoilers that I have come across.
I mean, at this point, we don't know who wins, so...
Christy does.
No, I don't. I'm saying it hasn't been released.
Oh, wow. Christy's sources haven't come through for her yet. Oh. I just want to point this out because you can tell Christy is quite agitated. She wants to know. This is like Christy's drug of choice is Bachelor spoilers. Let me just tell you.
It's okay if I don't know.
Oh, and that's what everyone says. Oh, I could quit anytime. I don't need them. I just like them, you know.
It's true. It changes the way you watch it, but it's not a bad thing if you don't know.
Well, one of these days I'm gonna try to get you some help for your problem. Once I figure out how to help. Well, I have nothing else to talk about. So, how can people reach us?
You can email us at groupdatespod@gmail.com. And also follow us on Instagram at Group Dates Podcast.
Excellent. And despite the general boredom of this episode, Clayton still managed to get 6 kisses.
No, for some reason it looked like more.
Mostly from Teddy.
Well, yeah. They were attached.
Yes, attached at the face. Gross. Well, I guess all I have left to say is I hope next episode is more interesting. This has been Group Dates and Hot Takes, a Bachelor Nation podcast. I'm Sampy.
And I'm Christy. We'll talk to you next week.